Hello and welcome. In this video we'll be discussing how to do split testing of your pages. Basically that's a very simple concept where you just do a duplication of a page or you completely change it to see what kind of a content would work best and what will convert more people to actual customers. It can be leads, customers, sales, etc. So this is very powerful and basically very necessary because you cannot be certain what kind of text and content might be converting more people. In some cases you might have even double the conversions by changing a few headlines and call to actions. So in this video we'll be discussing exactly that and how simple it is, basically in a few seconds, to duplicate your pages and test out different things. So we'll be discussing all that, and without further ado, let's get inside the system and show you a few of the things that you can split test. So now we are inside our home funnel that we created earlier in the videos, and we can obviously split test quite a lot of things. But before we get started, let's determine what do we want to split test. What we usually split test ourselves is basically the headlines and the call to actions in most cases. We can also split test some images and some arrangement of your content. So you might want to try and give something else on top or add a video of some sort, depending on what kind of a business do you have. So by changing some of the headlines, for example, you can have a great impact, because when somebody visits your page, they come with a problem. So you have to find the best solution for that problem. And in many cases, you might not be certain exactly what is their problem that they come specifically with. So you can split test your headlines, for example, because that will be the first thing that they'll be looking into. So you can play around and do a different headline, a different sub-headline, and different call to actions, for example. But before we start that, let's see where you can split test your pages. Click on the funnel button on the left, and there you have all the different pages inside your funnel, and you can split any of those. So when you go with a mouse on top of every step, you see the option to split test each one of your pages. So by clicking on the A/B test, you have the two options: to duplicate the page or to create a new one. Creating a new one is from a new template, a new design, so that will start basically from scratch. And if you duplicate, obviously you would duplicate exactly the page that you currently have. So for this example, we'll just duplicate it. And that is assumingly that when you already create your landing page and you want to split test it and try different things, so that you don't have to work twice on the same page. So now we have the A version and the B version. And as you can see at the bottom, you have the percentages. Basically that's to see how many people have converted, and basically that will determine how much of the traffic converted from this page or this page to the next one. So the idea here is that basically the traffic is distributed 50-50 randomly, and when they convert and go to the next page or step, they will they will increase the percentage of conversion. And you can split test pop-ups as well, so it doesn't have to be just a page. And when we have a new pop-up here, we can split test that as well. So you can go into the B version, and there you can start, as you can see, it's exactly the same copy, and you can now start editing your headlines. So instead of having professional business development advising, you can have something like boost your business with this, for example, advices from our experts. So something that is more engaging, more into the actual goal of the user that wants to achieve, rather than what you're doing. So maybe boost your business with the advice from our experts. You see how that's different? Basically we're talking about the benefit to boost the business that we put first on top of our page, and then we can have a sub headline that we can modify, I guess, with something else. The call to action you can also modify. Get in touch with us. You can have for example, like get started now, or start your success story, or something like that. You can test out and try out different things again, and you can see what kind of conversions you might get. What you can also do is you can split test the colors. In some cases, a different color might be more, suited for this type of audience. So you can test out with, let's say, something more vibrant that might, get people to do more action. Usually, bright colors are, as you probably can guess, they're things that can attract more visitors and more people to click and get action. But that really depends on what kind of a business you have, what is your proposition. In some cases, the green might be better, but yeah, you can split test and see if that's also a factor that could get more results. Another cool thing is that you can split test is images. Obviously, this image you can replace with something more. Generally, people who are smiling and being happy tend to convert more people. So you can test out that as well. Now we have your benefits and features. You can test out with a different section, for example, talking about one specific or maybe add a few more. So you can test that as well. Videos are great as well. If you don't have any videos on your page and you have the ability to add a video, that's always a plus, because a video says basically 1,000 images as an image says 1,000 words. So you can test out that, you can add a video or add another section that might be working better. So you can arrange position, you might want to add a video as a second step, so right after they read the information, they can see a video about your services, about your business, whatever you're doing. Obviously, we're talking in this case for this type of a lead generation funnel. So you can test out all these things, and you can delete different sections, you can play around with the call to actions, but these are the main things that you can modify basically for 5-10 minutes, and you can see you might get a lot better results. Some ideas again are talk about the benefits of the person that is visiting the page might get by using your service or products. And these are some of the tips that we can give you about that for lead generation. Of course, if you have you can obviously test out all the different steps that you have inside your whole funnel. So for example, if you're going to, let's say, an opt-in type of a funnel, you can play around and see, for example, we have this section, we have we did a A/B testing for this one. So you have a headline that you can split test. You might want to add a countdown if you don't have, and if you have some kind of a scarcity, you can try out with different fields. So if you have a kind of long form, you can test out in the B version to just ask only a few, maybe just an email and a name without a phone. That might tempt people to submit more of the form because they will be asked less questions. So usually when you have the less questions you ask in a form, basically that converts more because it's easier to submit. That's common sense. So you can test out different things like this, and you can see what might be converting the most. Adding different sections, different boosters like the countdowns, like scarcity elements, testimonials, which are conversion boosters as well, are key. So you can split test all these things easily. And we didn't talk how to actually select the winner. Basically, and actually before we go to the selecting the winner, at what point do you actually select, see if each version is, which version is working better. So my suggestion is to have at least a few hundred visitors, so you can see some kind of percentages going both ways. It should be 50-50. Again, it's a random distribution of the pages, and at least a few hundred. So how do you select the winner of this split test? For example, just click on the A/B test settings, and you have two options, either automatically or manually. Automatically means that when a certain amount of visitors is being distributed between both, in this case 5,000, basically 2.5 and 2.5, whoever has the better conversion rate will be basically selected as the winner automatically. Or you can manually select at any point which of the two you want to select as a winner. Let's say the version A. Click on yes, and that's it. Only the version A will stay. Keep in mind that will basically delete the B version. So you'll stay only with the version that you selected. And when you click on the A/B test history, you see all the different A/B test losers we call them losers because they kind of lost. So you can see from when to when you had an A/B test and what was the conversion rate and how many visitors you had at that step. So you can keep a track of your losers basically in this section. And that's about it. This is how easy it is to split test. And it is powerful because you don't have to wonder anymore, what kind of text might be working, what kind of call to action. You can experiment. You can test out a few things for 5-10 minutes and you can see results. You don't have to do basically anything else. You just leave people get in and see which people basically decide it is better because they get to the next step. That's the conversion. When it comes to SEO, you can also do that as well. So let's go into one product sales funnel. So we have our funnel here, and obviously you can split test the page of the product. So you can do it like super quick, maybe just have it like an image with if you have a video, and just the the call to action without too much information. That can be maybe a way to get more people to go to the checkout. So you can split test the page again. You can select one of the beautiful new templates for products that we have, so you can test out with some other design, for example. It's entirely up to you. You can see what might be working best. But when it comes to checkout as well, you can split test what kind of a checkout might get more people. So you can experiment with having different headlines, maybe with or without countdown, maybe 1 or 2 steps of checkout. You can see which one would actually convert more people. So it's entirely up to you, but super quickly you can do an A/B test, duplicate it, and you can now see. You can do the B version. Actually, let's go to the B version, and there you can play around and do it as a 2-step checkout. You can have a countdown if you didn't have before. You can adjust the image size. You can have some testimonials, for example, at the bottom. So you might want to try with having more happy customers as part of the whole thing. So maybe something like maybe something like this you want to add, and change this to the brand color and add it as part of the whole thing. So that might be converting more people as having even some testimonials on the page. Obviously we don't know. We can test it out and see what might be getting more. This page, for example, is missing 40-day money-back guarantee. If you provide, you can also add somewhere on the page that as well. And this way you can actually see this distribution, how many people have actually purchased on this page, and you can see the conversion rate. Again, the conversion rate would mean how many people have went to the next step, and basically how many people have converted. So in this case, again, the bigger percentage, the better. That means that more people has converted. Same goes for the upsells. You can also split test your upsell pages as well. You can test out with different design, with different page template. Maybe just leave this section without all the other unnecessary needs, sections. So it is entirely up to you, and you can look at it from a customer's perspective. What might be getting more people to submit a payment, to convert, to leave their information? Just put yourself in the shoes of the user, and that's why you can split test all these things and see what converts the most. And it's all the same. You just select the winner whenever a certain amount of people is being reached, or manually at any point. So this is about A/B testing. It's really easy. It's basically a few clicks away, and just test it out. It can really have a great impact on your business, and it is there. Why not use it and see how it can change your business? And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll be happy if you share how the A/B testing helped your business. If you had some results, if you get more sales, just let us know. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate and use the live chat to let us know if you have any of those. Alright, take to you in the next video.